What is the crew makeup of Mr. Fence? Oftentimes we get asked, what positions do you have? How many guys do you have on a team? We prefer to have a three-man team with a foreman, a co-foreman, and an installer. Believe it or not, the foreman, his number one job is not to build fence. We believe his number one job is to communicate the process of building the fence. So he's communicating with the homeowner, he's communicating with back to the office, our sales team, he's communicating with his team that's on site, any other supervisors in the chain, right? Project coordinators and whatnot. So he's constantly communicating with everybody verbally and then also written content. So he's reading the written content and then he's filling out documents and forms to track all the data on the project, right? So he's constantly doing communication is step one. Step two for the foreman is anomaly detector or anomaly smasher, we call it. In other words, anything that's abnormal in the project, that's his responsibility. Figure out a solution, find a solution, go with the game plan, get it figured out. He's supposed to be thinking about that. And then the third thing is move material. And that's right, move material, the foreman. And the reason for that is if he's moving material and helping move material, and he's constantly rotating around the project, right? And by rotating the project, he's watching his other team members, he's walking past other parts of the project and digesting and thinking about what's the plan gonna be when we get to this tree, what's the plan gonna be, how we get material over to this side of the yard. Allows him to use his brain and think and communicate, probably even be on the phone sometimes, and move some material. And then step four after that is to jump in, participate, help pour concrete, help set posts, whatever it is to help his team moving forward. The co-foreman's number one priority is to build fence. He should be driving the truck, he should be in charge of all the equipment, and then his job is head down, focused, building fence. He doesn't have to do the paperwork, he doesn't have to do the thinking, he doesn't need to figure out all the solutions. He just needs to build fence. So the foreman lays it out or gets him started on one line. Co-foreman's focused on point A to point B, like just put it in the ground. Primary focus, build fence. And then at the end of the day, he's gonna be accountable for all the equipment. Did all the tools get put away? Are they all accounted for? Is the truck properly strapped down? And driving the truck safely back to the office. The installer's position is to support the co-foreman. So his focus is to be right-hand man to the foreman, move material, hold the post for leveling, get equipment out of the truck and get it back up to the truck. So as an installer, he's basically assisting the co-foreman. So the two of them are just building fence moving forward. Just head down, build fence. And then the foreman's job is to make sure there's fence in front of them ready to go. And so they don't have to waste any time, just keep moving forward. Sometimes we have a laborer on the crew, especially during the summer. We throw a fourth guy out there and that'll help with moving material, just a massive amount of work, moving dirt, moving material, something of that nature, and save the backs of everybody else. Keep your team healthier, more energized, and not wore down by the end of the week by having that fourth guy, especially when it's super hot in our area, or if it's just a really large project. When you break it down, a laborer for us doesn't need to know how to read a tape, doesn't need to know how to operate a saw or a drill. They're just there to assist by moving material, basically. Installer should know how to use a drill, tape measure, circular saw, all the hand tools needed. They should know how to use them. Post hole diggers, our equipment should know how to use. A co-foreman should know everything they need to for installing fence in a plain Jane environment, like very simplistic. They know how to build fence when there is no anomalies, like just standard, run-of-the-mill, residential. That's how we lay out our teams. If somebody wants some more money, basically they're gonna have to move up in position. That's how that works. So. Team Blue, that's our structure.